As I mentioned, this is not just an academic study about how much potential there is for solar carports and how great they are. We want to get these things built. So, and there are serious obstacles. We've seen some of those already. They're economic. They are, the complexity, the ground conditions. It's going to take some work, I think, to get these. There's a reason why we don't see as many of them as we would like right now. So we'd like to set about really getting more of these built. So I have 3 invitations for you. The first is to run a solar canopies project in your town. Think of it like a Solarize or a Heat Smart, where PACE would work with you. We will, by we, I mean Kieran, will provide you with a report on your town, much like the state report that we've written. We'll have these sites identified that we think are at least a good starting point. We would want you to put together a local team to address this issue, to start to look at some of these sites. You'll be the boots on the ground. Who owns these sites? What are some of the local conditions? What are, who's got what rate plan, and start to identify some potentially viable sites. Work with some installers, maybe take the approach that Earthlight has recommended. I do an RFQ, but actually do the work to start to get some of, at least get some bids on these projects, to get some viable bids, and hopefully get some of them built. So I extend that invitation to you. We will be doing a mailing, but think about it. If you would like to take part in something like this in your town, then please feel free to reach out to us. The second invitation is PACE would like to form a coalition to start to advocate at the state level for the type of changes that we're going to need to make these carports easier to build. Starting with, as Kieran was pointing out, some of the better incentives we see in neighboring states, potentially a range of other issues of regulation, of interconnection, of streamlining permitting. So we'd like to form a coalition of a number of organizations that are involved, that could potentially be involved in this. So again, there'll be information coming out about this, but if you individually or in your organization would like to be part of the Connecticut Coalition for Solar Canopies, then please feel free to reach out to us, but more to come on that. And the last thing I'd like to point out is I'm going to share my screen. You saw the map that Kieran has produced, and there are multiple layers in there, right? You've got layers for what the potential carports are. You've got town information, and you can see the individual shapes of these impervious surfaces. We'd like to add a layer that shows existing carports in the state. So we're going to send a link out to you in some of the follow-up materials, but it will take you to this page. This is a new page on the PACE website for solar canopies. At the bottom of this page, you'll see links to the reports that Kieran talked about before. We've got the executive summary of the state report, the detailed report, Kieran's academic paper on this. And lastly, and this is this third request for you, we would like to start to create this database, which we don't see anywhere, of where carports exist already. So if you know of one, click on this link here. It'll take you to a brief questionnaire survey where you can put in just the information. And even if you don't have all the information, we just want some basic stuff: where it is, what town, how big it is, if we know what year it was built, who the sort of host is. We'd like to start to create another layer in Kieran's map that shows existing carports across the state. So I encourage you, when you get this link, when you get the link to this page, please, and if you have any information, please fill this out for us. It will be really helpful. And don't worry about duplication. If 2 people send the same one, we will deal with that. So, so those are the 3 invitations, because we think it's very clear from the work that we've done that this is a potentially significant resource. It's where the electric load is. There are significant co-benefits, and there are benefits in preserving the space that we want, the farmlands and the forests that we want. So but we also see there are significant challenges to getting a lot of these built. So we'd like to work together on those. So that's the invitation